Because of the following special program, Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
The ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsels, the trimmings, the trappings. The ribbons, the wrappings, the tag, the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings, the trappings. My name is Mr. Steve. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, joyous Kwanzaa, and a quiet but respectful Ramadan to you all. It is the holidays, and I thought I would read this book, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Originally, the original title of this was Grinch? Why you be stealing my Christmases? That was the original title to this.
Wait, really?
No, of course not. You kidding me, Maxwell? Of course not. We've read this before here on the channel, but it was during a live stream when I first started. For the first year that I started this channel on YouTube, I thought, oh, I need to be streaming, live streaming. Everybody's live streaming, but there were all these complications, and our internet is lame, so we're going to do this right. The official reading of Grinch? Why you be stealing all my Christmases? By Dr. Seuss. I've known Dr. Seuss for so long. Personally, I knew him when he was stressed out med student Seuss. That is a medical joke. I've got Maxwell here to help me. Maxwell, the Christmas loot llama. Mm-hmm. And now, if you notice, in the original book, he is not green. That is something that they added in the cartoon. But he is not green. He's just this white, black and white character with big pink eyes. He has some irritated eyes. He should use, like, a Visine.
Yeah.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. The end.
No, there's more.
Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that story. I liked it because it had a happy ending. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. The end. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, it's actually a much nicer neighborhood. You know, it's got better schools. They just got a Target. So it's a bit of a nicer neighborhood.
They're working on a Sam's Club, a Walmart.
What, a Sam's Club? They're getting a Sam's Club in North Whoville?
A Toys R Us?
A Toys R Us? I don't trust the new Toys R Us's. That's weird. Because Toys R Us closed down, but now they're opening up all these new Toys R Us's, but I'm not sure about it. Once you go in, they immediately shoot you with a tranquilizer dart and inject a chip into your neck. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now ask me why.
Why?
Now please don't ask why! Please. Don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. You know what he should try? Acupuncture. I bet that would help him with his neck problems.
Or glue.
Or glue? Yeah, I guess, yeah. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. Dude, just go to Walmart, you know? But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small, which was probably like a death sentence in 1957. Nowadays, there are just pills for that, you know? You can just take a pill, get a little shot in the arm, and then boom, your heart is fine. But, whatever the reason, the heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown. I do a really good sour, grinchy frown. Let me show you. It goes like this. It goes like this.
That's a happy...
People have different emotions. Stop emotion shaming me. That's my frown. Staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town, for he knew every what down in Whatville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath. I think I may have read some of that wrong. For he knew
every who down in Whoville beneath what's busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath.
Wreath. I like how every time they use the word who, it's in italics. So I'm not reading this right. Let me read this right. Staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town, for he knew every who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath. I need to do a Grinch voice. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer.
Can I do it?
That's my Grinch voice.
Can I do it?
Yeah, go for it. And they're hanging their stockings.
And they're hanging their stockings.
Okay. I don't know what that was, but I loved it. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here! Sorry. Then he growled, rawr, just like that, rawr, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I heard Whoville wants to rock! Thank you, Whoville, we love you, good night! I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, another italic, the noise. If there's one thing he hated, the noise. Dude, same. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast. Is he getting paid by the word? Is that what Dr. Seuss is? See, he keeps using a lot of the same words. They would feast on who pudding, and rare who roast beast, which is something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And some really weird, like, here's just a random all capital word. He uses this a lot, so. And then they do something he liked least of all. Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. Singing! Like a king, like a... Sinning! And they'd sing. And they'd sing! And they'd sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing!
Let me do it.
Oh, yeah, you do it.
I must stop this whole thing!
Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. To be fair, like, sure, the guy's grumpy, but he is 53 years old. Probably has a bad back, weak knees. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat. How do you do that? That's really weird. I know just what to do. That's hard. It's hard to laugh in your throat.
Yeah.
And he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat, and he chuckled. How do you chuckle?
You just chuckle.
Chuckle, 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 chuckle. And he clucked, which is weird. And he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat, and he chuckled and clucked. Buck, buck! What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeers are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? Yes, the end.
No.
That is the end of the story.
No.
Couldn't find a reindeer. End of plan. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead, just like Frankenstein. It's alive! Oh, no. So he called his dog, what's his dog's name?
Max.
Nice. He called his dog Max, then he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. That's a very, reindeer by way of Ed Wood.
Yeah.
Then!
Ah.
He used all caps. I'm trying to read this accurately. He loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, GIDDAP!
No, it's a giddy up.
Then the Grinch said, GIDDAP!
No, giddy up.
GIDDAP!
Giddy up.
Giddy up would be spelled somewhere around GIDDYUP would be how you would spell giddy up. But if you look here, it says right there, then the Grinch said, GIDDAP! GIDDAP! And Max said, woof? What does GIDDAP mean? Dude, you are losing it. Then the Grinch said, GIDDAP. That's the word of the day, kids.
No, it's
If you hear anyone say the word GIDDAP, scream real loud, okay?
It's not GIDDAP,
It's GIDDAP is what it, I don't know, maybe he's speaking in tongues.
It's not
Maybe
GIDDAP,
it's a
GIDDAP.
different language. We should translate this, see if it means something different in maybe it's Russian. I don't know. And the sleigh started down towards the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. Quiet snow, because I hate it when it's snowing and then the snow goes. It's like, oh man, that snow's so loud. Ha ha! It's me, Snow! What? And it's like, oh, if only we could have quiet snow. Well, the Who's have quiet snow. Quiet snow fills the air.
And they're like,
Yeah. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care when he came to the first little house on the square. This is stop number 1. Oh, apparently that's my Grinch voice. This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed. Maybe he's green because he's a snake. This is stop number 1. And he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue. I like that word. Fireplace flue. Flue. F-L-U-E. The fireplace flue. Where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. Then he slithered and slunk, maybe he is a snake, with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns! Those are machine guns, but they'd shoot those miniature cans of soda. That's a pop gun. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorns. popcorn, and plums. Kids, you're all getting plums for Christmas.
Plums.
No, just plums. And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags. This is true. This is true, okay? This is a real thing. I'm going to read this. Pay attention. And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimbley.
Chimbley?
That's what it says. Because
Wait, let me
apparently Dr. Seuss wrote himself into a corner, so he rhymed nimbly with chimbley. Weak sauce, bro!
Nimbly chimbley.
Weak! Then he slunk to the ice box. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that ice box as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash. I love Who hash so much. And he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee, with the cast of the Fox television show Glee. Leah Michelle showed up and helped him stuff all the food up the chimney. Really amazing. And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. I'm stuffed up right now. You hear that? That's me being stuffed up. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was 802. Oh, wait, who was not more than 2. So she's 1 year old. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter who had got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said,
Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
Can I do a Cindy Lou
That's
voice?
Cindy Lou Who's voice. She had a very deep
Can I do
voice.
my
I'm
voice?
interested at the fact that, like, look at all of these Who's asleep on top of a mermaid. They just got a mermaid body. But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. Ew, he should take a shower. He thought up a lie and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there. Then I'll bring it back here. And his fib fooled the child, and he patted her head, and he gave her some water, and sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On his walls, he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. But it was huge for ants. The ants were like, "We have never seen this much food. All hail the mighty Grinch!" Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. But again, ants. Boom. They were partying. It was 1/4 dawn. All the Who's still abed. All the Who's still a snooze. That's just so fun to say. All the Who's still a snooze. Still a snooze are the Who's. The Who's are all a snooze. So much fun. When he packed up his sled, packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsels, the trimmings, the trappings. The ribbons, the wrappings, the tag, the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, named after the famous European explorer Eduardo Crumpet. He rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's. He was grinchiously humming. Pooh-pooh to you Who's. I see you Who's. And I go, what should I say to you Who's? Should I say, have a good day to you Who's? I think not. I shall say, pooh-pooh to you Who's. Pooh-pooh to the Who's. Let's see if that works. Honey, you need to take the trash out. Pooh-pooh to the trash. Pooh-pooh. Hey, Steve, it's your dish night. Ah, but may I interject something? Pooh-pooh to the dishes. Pooh-poo to the Who's. He was grinchishly humming. Grinchishly. That's difficult. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's. Sorry. I didn't mean to scare you that time. I'm sorry. Then the... That time I meant to scare you, but the time before that, total accident. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. Because they cry like that. It's really weird. Boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch. Ooh, excuse me. That I simply must hear. So he paused.
Unpause. And the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did...
Then the Grinch put a hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. It was, hello, we have been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Elf, elf, elf.
But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry. Very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Ow. That sounds like it hurts.
Oh.
I don't want to pop my eyes. Ouch. Then he shook.
Laughter.
What he saw was a shocking surprise. I just turned the page. What I have seen is a shocking surprise. I am so shocked by this shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was sign-jinge.
Yeah. Singing.
Oh, singing. Without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came! Somehow or other, it came just the same. Now, this is what I think is the Grinch's big problem. You know, he's there waiting to hear the Grinch's crying. Instead, he hears them singing a song. Da-hoo, do-re, fa-hoo, fore, shma-hoo, shmore, spa-hoo, spore, flarpoo, flore. But if you notice, in this book and in the cartoon, all the Who's have their eyes closed.
Wait, can I see?
They're all singing with their eyes closed. So my theory is that they just wake up and then stumble to the town square and start singing this song. And so the Grinch just needed to wait a little bit longer, because I think what happens is that, they're all holding hands. And they're like, da-hoo, do-re, fa-hoo, fore, welcome, Chris. Oh! Our presents are gone! Everybody open your eyes! You're not gonna believe this! So, I think that was impressive. That was an impressive scream. So, I think the Grinch just, needed to wait a little bit longer. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, hey, maybe that'll help if your shoes are on too tight, stood puzzling and puzzling. He had a book of Sudoku, so he was doing puzzles. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. I know how you feel, dude. My back has been killing me. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe if I melt dry ice, I can swim without getting wet. Oh no, something different. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, is only available online. That happens a lot nowadays.
No!
Christmas is only available online. I'm a big fan of Christmas. I'm also a big fan of this other holiday. You kids probably haven't heard of it, but let me give you kids a history lesson. See, I know you kids are all familiar with the most famous holiday of all time, Black Friday. But here's a fun bit of trivia. A long time ago, there used to be a holiday the day before Black Friday, which was called Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
And that's when everybody would watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and make fun of it, then eat way too much turkey, and then the tryptophan, which is the chemical in the turkey, would make everyone pass out in front of a football game.
Yeah.
Or possibly a dog show.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
Maybe Christmas. Oh, sorry. Did I get ya? Sorry.
One of my first.
Anyway. Oh, did I get you again? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll do it on this side. That way I won't hit you. Okay. Maybe... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe Christmas. Perhaps. Means a little bit more. I'm sorry. Did I hit you again? This is ruining, like, the... Look at how sad Max is. Look how sad Max is. Like, dude. You know, they make CBD oil for pets. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say, the Grinch moved to another neighborhood where the Whos didn't care if he hated Christmas. Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day, which I think is actually more dangerous than having a small heart. I mean, ouch! Just suddenly your heart grows 3 sizes? Like, oh my goodness. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he himself, all in caps for some reason, the Grinch carved the roast beast. And that's the end of that story. Yay! Kids, hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And hope you liked that book. Hope you liked that book. If you'd like to learn more about Dr. Seuss, just Google him. Merry Christmas, Maxwell.
Merry Christmas, Dad.
We'll see you later, guys. Bye.